Hey friends, it's Marie here again from Nicole Designs. I get to share the January Glimmer Kit from Spellbinders. Now they have a monthly Glimmer Kit that you can subscribe to every month. You get shipped some Glimmer plates, and a lot of the time they have coordinating dies. So this month they have these really fun shapes and hearts that you can cut out to create a little envelope, and some little hearts that look like conversation hearts. So this is perfect for Valentine's Day coming up, or I know I'm going to be using these envelope dies over and over again because there's nothing cuter than a tiny envelope. So I'm going to give you a look at these Glimmer plates, how to assemble them, and how to make a cute card. Now, the plates here, they say love you, XOXO, and there's a little wink wink. There's also this little die that cuts out the tiny little scrolly scripty word love, and I really love that die as well. So this month's kit is really fun. I enjoyed working with it. I want to show you this smaller piece here. Now this is that smaller triangle piece. It has a little score line on the back that you can fold over, and then you can assemble these pieces into a little envelope. And there's a bigger triangle piece that has that scalloped edge, so you can make a bigger envelope as well, and you can pair that with these smaller ones too to make a few different styles of envelopes, and I'll be showing you that in my video today. So to assemble them, you just want to kind of adhere them together, 3 sides and then a top. I was going to put this scallop top on top of this envelope, but it turned out to be too big, so you would need to make the bottom a longer one as well to make all the sides even, either make a square or a rectangle. So for my card, I'm going to do a striped background. So I'm taking some of my Fusion ink from Fun Stamper's Journey. This is the color Bubblegum, which is a fun pink color. I thought as long as we're going with a Valentine's Day theme, doing some conversation hearts, I'll do some pink stripes, and I thought that would be really fun for the background here. So my background is just stenciling on some inks. When I'm using my stencils, I do like to tape them onto my cardstock from the back side. That way I don't get my tape in the way as I'm ink blending. I like to move my cardstock around as I'm ink blending to get all of the edges, and if I tape it down to my craft area, I can't move it very well. Also, when you're pulling off that tape, if you get a little bit of tear on your cardstock, it's going to be on the back side, not on the front. So I really do like taping it from the back of my stencils. I feel I get better results that way. So I'm going to go ahead and use this little Glimmer piece for the flap of one of my envelopes. Now they have 2 envelope dies like I showed you, and they have the coordinating Glimmer pieces for each one. So this is actually the larger one. Before I realized I needed the smaller envelope, I went ahead and glimmered this one. So you'll see me use the smaller one later in the video, but I just wanted to show you how you glimmer it. I like to tape my Glimmer plate down over my foil, add it to my platform, let it heat up, and then run it through my die machine. That way my foil is going to be exactly where I want it to be. You can just peel off that washi tape. It doesn't leave any sticky residue on your paper or on my Glimmer platform, and it helps keep everything in place so I get a good glimmered image. Now I'm going to go ahead with that coordinating die, line it up along the edge of this glimmered piece, and I'm going to cut it out. And you can see that it gives you just a really pretty glimmered edge on the edges of your envelope. You could do this on all 4 sides and have all sides glimmered. I just did it on the flap of my envelope today. And like I mentioned, this one that I glimmered, I'm not using on my card. I'm going to use the smaller one, but they work the same way, so you can do the same technique with this bigger or the smaller envelope piece. Now I'm going to go ahead and glimmer these little conversation hearts. These are so fun. Like I don't need to put them in any particular spot on my cardstock. I'm just using a piece of scrap cardstock. So I just set these down onto my Glimmer platform, put my foil on top of it, and then glimmer them. And then you can peel them off the Glimmer platform, peel that foil off, and you're left with some really fun conversation hearts. You can see that one of my hearts kind of got off the side there. You can always use a bigger piece of cardstock or just be a little bit more careful when you're glimmering. But once these are done, you can grab your die, just line it up, and cut those out. Now, if you don't want to glimmer, but you still want to get some color with these plates, you can go ahead and just press some ink into your cardstock. I'm just using some red ink here. I used a lighter color and it didn't show up quite as well, so darker colors do work better when you're doing this sort of letterpress technique, but just play around with it with whatever inks you have. If getting inks on your plate or on your Glimmer platform bothers you, maybe you don't want to do this, but I have not had any problems with getting it off. I just take a baby wipe off that ink. I did use hybrid ink, and hybrid inks tend to become permanent when they are heat set. So I do have my Glimmer plates are tinted just a little bit from stain from my ink, but it doesn't transfer onto the foil. It doesn't hurt the usefulness of your plates at all. They will still work perfectly fine, so it doesn't bother me at all. But if that's going to bother you to get a little ink stain on your plates, I'd say don't do that technique. Just use it with your foils. So now I'm going to go ahead and assemble my envelope, and the way I do that is I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive on each of these edges and then line them up. And you can even use the grid on your craft mat underneath your envelope to kind of make sure that all your sides are square, but they're really easy to line up. Just put a little bit of adhesive, line it up, and press it down, let that adhesive hold, and you have a cute little envelope. I am in love with these envelopes. I think they're so much fun. And if you wanted to fill them with different things like candies and goodies, you could also do that. Now I'm going to go ahead and just glue it down to my card front. I'm just adding a little bit more liquid glue, and you're going to go ahead and press it down. Now it's going to make it pop out a little bit. It's going to have a little bit of dimension, but I really like that because it gives you room inside to put your little conversation hearts, put candies, maybe a little piece of chocolate, or a special note to somebody. If you're using liquid glue like I am, you are going to have to hold it down for a few minutes to make sure that glue completely holds. But I don't have any problems with it kind of popping off of my card once that glue is dry. It stays right where it's put. And it really makes it easy to put these hearts in and dump them out. I really love the way that these dies are engineered. I think they're really fun to build a little envelope. So here is the flap that I'm going to put on top. Like I mentioned, it's not the one that you saw me do on the Glimmer machine earlier. It's the smaller one, but it just gives you a look at the different styles of envelopes that you can do and the different edges for your envelopes. So I'm going to go ahead, glue that down on the top, and my little envelope is all assembled. Now, if you wanted this envelope to be just an envelope, not a card front, you could just go ahead and cut around your envelope, cut that card front off, and then you would just have a little envelope, and you can decorate the inside if you wanted to as well. So I'm filling up my little envelope with all of these conversation hearts. They are so cute. You can glimmer them in all kinds of different colors, do some letterpress with them, lots of fun things you can do. Even later in the video, I'll show you, I also cut out a bunch of glitter stock hearts, so you can use the dies by themselves as well and just cut out hearts. So I'm going to go ahead and glue on some flowers here. I think it's a really great tip if you want to make quick cards, is when you're doing some stamping, die cutting, whatever, go ahead and color and cut out a few extra pieces and just keep a dish of die cuts and colored images. And that way you'll have some quick things to grab and add to your card. These flowers are actually left over from not January, but December's Glimmer kit. I did a card with flowers like these. I had some left over. So I just grabbed them, added them to my card, and it made a super quick little embellishment to kind of dress up this envelope. I'm adding the little love sentiment that comes with the kit this month. I cut it out from some glitter stock, and I'm adding it with some liquid adhesive. So this is a really simple, really pretty little Valentine's card. You can add all of the hearts inside of this envelope, and like I mentioned, you could put some chocolates in there. You could put a personalized note or something, and you do want to make sure that you either tape it down or close it somehow if you're putting it through the mail, you don't want things flying all over the place. I'm just taking a little bit of washi tape and just taping that flap down so everything stays in place. And that is my card. Pretty simple. Just wanted to let you know how to foil and cut out and assemble these envelopes. I think they're so stinking cute. I did want to give you a little bit of a look at another style of envelope. So this one is square, pretty much square. If you wanted to make another size, you would cut two of the larger envelope pieces, and you could cut two of the smaller ones for the edges and make a rectangle size. There's also some add-ons for this kit. So if you wanted to go and get some more of these hearts, more sayings, check out the Spellbinders blog. They have, and website, they have this little add-on kit that gives you more hearts and another die. And I've gone ahead and I've foiled those with some really bright foil, and I've cut them out with those die pieces, and I'm just going to add them inside a little envelope here. So this is that rectangle envelope I've been talking about. There is that first flap that I foiled, and I have the inside of my envelope all ink blended as well. This is just an envelope all by itself. So if you wanted to not do a card, make a tiny envelope, put some hearts in there, you know, treats, letters, anything, give it to a friend, you could also do that. I'm just going to tie it closed with a little piece of string, and that's going to finish my little envelope. So I hope this has given you some great inspiration, some ideas and techniques on using this month's Glimmer kit. Like I mentioned, hop over to Spellbinders and check out their Glimmer kit subscription. They also have a ton of other subscriptions if you're interested in stamps and dies or anything. And as always, make sure to check out the links below. So thanks so much for stopping by. I hope you will like, comment, share, subscribe, just do all the things. I'll catch you all next time. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.